Hi folks, Simon here, welcome back to the channel. So in my last video I talked about the fact that the DJI Fly app has now been updated to 1.2.4. I thought we'd get out while the sun is shining and see how the app has actually improved our flying experiences. Come along. Right then, so I've put the battery in, I've put an ND8 filter onto the lens, so we'll be using manual exposure settings. One thing to notice, I was going to use an ND16 filter because it was very bright, but now it seems to have just, well, clouded up a little bit, which is typical, isn't it? So I've got 100% battery. What I'm going to do is just fly the drone around the area and hopefully we'll be able to see if that compass is working a little bit more as intended. In particular, the position of the subject controlling the drone, me in this case, the pilot, relative to the drone itself, often wasn't accurate. So we'll see if that's been fixed. Okay, so let's go ahead and get the drone into the air here. We'll send it over the way. Just get some height before I go any further. Okay, if I take it to about 60 meters. Right, so at the moment, I'm looking directly at the drone. I can see it in the sky and how it is relative to my position. It is just up there. I don't know if you can see my finger angling. And on the compass itself, it actually looks like it's better. It's better than it was. It's not perfect. It looks like the arrow of the pilot is slightly across to the right from the drone. And it isn't, okay? The antenna are pointing directly at the drone here. The arrow that I'm looking at is the arrow that only moves when I move. You see at the bottom there on the compass? So as I'm directly facing the drone, regardless of which angle the drone is facing, that arrow should always be pointed towards it. And right now it is not. It is better, as I say, but it's not perfect. Maybe we can't get that perfect. Perhaps that's not just a software thing. Perhaps that's just how the satellites work and how the accuracy of those satellites function. Perhaps we're just asking too much to get it any better than it currently is. Okay, I'm keeping that drone in line of sight at all times, of course. It's a nice clear sky where we're flying, so I've got plenty of visual LOS at the moment. Again, I'm looking directly at the drone. Okay, I've kept the drone in a straight line. And it still has me facing as the pilot on the bottom here of the compass slightly off to the right, which I'm not. One thing to note though is that the north of the compass is spot on correct. I'm not sure if that was an issue before, but that is definitely north where the compass is agreeing is north, so that's good at least. Okay, I'm going to take the drone off centre or off, you know, the straight line that I've currently got it on relative to my position, and we'll see how that affects the compass here. And it almost looks spot on the compass. It almost looks spot on, but again, I do think that the arrow is slightly off to the right on the pilot's location than it should be. But I think that's within the range of error that we can probably expect from this kind of compass interface. So yeah, I'm happy with that. I'm going to be honest with you guys. That definitely makes the compass usable, and for me previously it wasn't, because it got incredibly confusing when it had my position to the drone just in a completely different orientation than it ought to have been. So yeah, I'm very happy about that. It's going to gain a little bit more height here, and then we'll head off, I think, into the other direction and see how that compares. Now I can feel a bit of a breeze here, so I wouldn't be surprised if we get some wind warnings popping up. I have got it in sports mode. I'm not getting any cinematic shots. This is solely a compass test here. Okay, so once again, I'm facing directly in a straight line to the drone, as in my eyes, the controller, are not angled to it. And it still has that right, even from the other direction now. I've wondered if that might have overcompensated for it and pushed it to the left. But having done a complete 180, we are still, according to the compass navigation, veered off to the right. As in, it thinks we're like this towards the drone, but we're not. We're directly angled towards it here. So that's interesting. Maybe that is a software bug, you know. Okay, I'm going to face it directly at me. Yeah. And yeah, it looks like the arrow's pointing to the left, but it's actually pointing to the right because the drone is now oriented the opposite way. I've got to say though, overall, I'm impressed with the compass. I think I'm going to be using it full time now for my drone flights. I can certainly handle the slight variance that we're seeing there. Okay, well, hopefully that's given us a good test of the compass there. So we'll go ahead and start bringing the drone home now. Here comes the little fella. Right on schedule. Try not to hit the trees. Okay. Oh, that's weird. My jaw's seized up. I think it's the cold weather. Doesn't handle it very well. Perfect. All right then, folks. So we've tested out the compass with the 1.2.4 update. What do you think? And those of you that have the DJI Mini 2 or another drone that uses the DJI Fly app, have you found any notable improvements with the compass since the update? Has it been a little bit more accurate for you? It seems to be for me. I know this was only a brief test, but it does seem to have improved a little bit over what it was before. But I'll be interested in hearing your thoughts as always. Don't forget, I do a whole load of Mini 2 content at the moment, so I would encourage you guys to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you would like to be notified of more. But thanks so much for sharing your time with me, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day. I'll see you next time. Bye everybody.